Hello, my name is Drew, and I like to make things out of clay. We're back with another action-packed Sculpey video. I should start by saying that I went to a local art store and bought two new types of Sculpey clay to try out, and had originally planned to make a completely different character before noticing that my psycho Willy Wonka that I made last week looked a little lonely and needed some short, maniacal pals to keep him company. So in today's video I'm going to create two mischievous Oompa Loompas that love getting into trouble.
It's fun getting into trouble.
What are you guys doing?
I'm testing out this gray, firm Sculpey clay in this video after complaining that my living doll clay was difficult to use because it was so soft. No, I'm not going to bring up the thing that I compared it to last week. Fine. It felt like soft dog. Not that I have personally felt dog shit, but I did step in it with bare feet and it was a very similar consistency. My initial plan was to make two similar Oompa Loompas in the same pose so they could be holding up Charlie. But spoiler alert, I find that it's going to be too heavy, kind of too much going on in that one corner, so I decide to change my plan. I still don't have the proper armature wire. In fact, I'm using some old chicken wire that I have twisted in place. I don't advise using this as it is annoying to work with and adds a lot of extra time to an already long creation process. But I started doing it, so I continue doing it and will do it for this project only. I make two pieces that fit into these pre-drilled holes on my board. I then bulk them out with some tin foil. Then I huck some clay at it and they are covered. The figure's poses are pretty rigid, which I don't know if I really planned for or not, but I think will work because the Oompa Loompas that I remember are kind of robotic in their movements. Once the lower halves are complete, I get to work on their odd yet amusing faces. I hate to complain, but even though this is the firm Sculpey, the more you work it, the softer it gets, and it's starting to remind me of that oh so moist pile. It is, however, a little better than the living doll clay in this environment, so I'm pleased. The first Oompa Loompa, let's call him Pickles, has a wild hairdo. Well, they all do, but it's very odd and I like it. I'm pleased to say that I found some old water pick attachments that I no longer use, and the rubber one that has kind of a silicone end is perfect. I looked into buying some real tools, but they are expensive and I want to see if I can make do with what I have for now. It is at this point, with them both standing with their hands in the air, that I determined that my original Charlie idea wasn't going to work. So I changed directions and spread out a river of tinfoil that I covered in clay to later become a chocolate river. I roll two little balls for Augustus's eyes and keep them quite round so that he looks like he's in shock as he's fallen in. I then add some nubs for arms and balls for hands. The firmer clay is a lot nicer to work with when creating hands than the living doll clay in my opinion. I then twist Goober's arms down and point one of his fingers to make it seem as though he's casually pushed Augustus into the dirty poop river, and leaving Pickles in his current state really makes him look like he's frantic. The painting process is a very long process, taking close to 8 hours with all the coats needed and all the tiny details. Starting with the Oompa Loompas' hair, I work my way down to their muddy carrot-colored faces. I have to use a tiny brush in order to get into all the tight nooks and crannies, like around their suspenders and in around the hairlines and their boots. I paint the river a dark chocolatey brown and add highlights to show the water ripples. Now that my diorama is complete, I coat it with Onyx Gel Medium to give it that glossy, more finished look. It takes about 24 hours to dry and to lose its tackiness, so through the power of editing, we are now onto the photo shoot. This project was a lot of fun, but I'm definitely not a pro. There is a lot I need to learn, and I think it will just take time to figure out how to speed up my workflow. Next week I'm going to try something totally different. So please stay tuned for that. I appreciate any positive criticism or ideas in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.